What's up guys, it's Gizmo Gaming, and today I'm going to be doing a video on Fortnite Battle Royale, things that you need to know. Now I'm making this video because, to be honest, when I actually found out the things that I learned from the video that I watched, which I have linked in the description, I didn't even believe the amount of shit that you can get away with in Fortnite Battle Royale and the things that you needed to know to not let other people get away with that same shit in Fortnite Battle Royale. Now, the gameplay you're watching now is a game that I played after learning these new tactics that I just learned from the video that I watched, which once again will be in the description and will probably be popping up over this video just because I'm that nice of a guy. But this guy explains the things that you need to do in Fortnite, things that you may not know, good drop locations, as well as how to never get shot in your back and all kinds of other useful tactics. Now, as you can see, I have a pretty good loadout right now, but you're going to want to make sure that in any general Fortnite loadout that you have at least some shields, full shield like I have, some extra shields, some healing items, and an AR as well as a shotgun. An SMG is great, as well as a hunting rifle being great, as you can see what I'm using now for long range. However, it's not really necessary that you have a hunting rifle or a long range weapon, as your AR can actually suffice for about both. Now I want to specify something generally speaking. This is not so much one of the tricks, but this is more so one of my tips. Long range combat is never the best. You don't never know what the other person has, and it doesn't really matter what you have either. Your best bet is to get in and kill them quickly, because when you do long range combat, you're usually either so focused in that direction that you're gonna die and get shot from behind, or even worse, you're moving forward without subconsciously realizing, and the person can shoot you from the front. So never try to overdo long range combat, because as you see here, I realize that and I rush in. And that is just a simple tip that I give myself. Now what you're going to see me do in a second here is I realize that this guy is on a hill that is higher than me, so I go around the hill. This is a very good tactic, especially if you want to get the drop on somebody, using trees for cover and things of that nature. What I'm going to try to do, instead of running up to his base, is I'm going to actually go ahead and I'm going to build a ramp setup. This is mainly because I want myself to be protected and not die that easily, as well as the walls just suffice very well. This way I can snipe, and I've looked behind me and I've made sure that there's no one behind me, and since the storm is going in that direction over there, I don't need to worry about anyone coming behind me, because that would be out of the way of the storm in the first place. Now I'm basically kind of confused as to why the guy isn't coming out yet. So what I do here is I run straight in. I have the assault rifle out so I can wipe him if necessary, because a blue is just a blue. I get into his cage and I use a very good tactic where I look through the transparent wood. As you guys know, broken materials in Fortnite actually show clear, so you can actually use it to look at the opponent or look out for other enemies, but you might want to be aware of this, because when you do that, they can also look at you. I slide down the rocks as an easy way to get down, because why not? I need the quickest way to get down. And keep in mind that as far as fall damage goes, you're fine for up to 3 stories. Anything after 3 stories will result in 10 health per story being dropped as you fall down. Which is why if you're higher than 10 stories, you're pretty much fucked. Someone starts shooting at me, and my immediate response is to build ramps and run away. This is done because you don't need to confront the person until you can actually absolutely see them. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to run forward, building ramps in front of you. This way you're able to actually effectively run away from the person without getting shot in the back. Here I see a person building to get away from another person. I use the tires, which is around my environment, and I headshot them for a quick win. Now after this, I'm going to go and heal up on my shields a little bit, because I know that I need to pop these shields and make sure that I'm back to full health in order to actually maybe win this game. I have this hunting rifle out because I'm curious as to where the person is that was behind me before, and if I'll see them again at this junction. The important thing you want to remember in Fortnite is that you're always going to want to go with high ground. High ground is the most important thing, period. You must trade high ground for other important aspects as well. It doesn't matter what the aspects are, you have to understand that having high ground in Fortnite is a godly type tactic. And having high ground will almost always win you the game, unless of course you're fighting against rockets or grenade launchers or something of that matter. At this point I hear something, so I'm going to have to go see what that is and going to check it out. Well, I did hear something. I heard a dumbass building a stairway. Now this guy's using an actual very good tactic. He's spam building a stairway, and he's also doing doubles, that way he can actually go across without being hit as much. The problem is though, when he sees me shoot at him, he starts spam building that fortress. Doesn't matter because it's wood. He immediately tries to rush me, and of course because I have a higher ground than he does, and he jump shots, which you cannot really do from far away, well, he dies. Not seeing what I'm talking about? Take a look at this. He starts spam building wood, which is always good. But he starts jumping. You never want to jump with a mid-range weapon, as the damage just won't be as good as a shotgun. The next topic I want to bring up to you guys is endgame etiquette. Now, it's incredibly important that you know exactly what you're doing in a game where you're pretty much about to die at every other second. Now, this looks pretty unprofessional because I am in a bush. I admit that, and I respect that I am in a bush even though I've never really used one before. But as you can see, I'm in tilted towers with 8 people left, and I've gotten here from A, using the tactics that I was given, but also B, knowing when to stay hidden and knowing when to rush. And it's very rare in Fortnite that you actually need to rush. But I'll show you what I actually did in just a second. Now, as you guys can see, I actually waited it out a little bit more, and not because I was bitching out, but because why kill people when you can let them kill themselves? That number went from 8 to 6, and that's simply because I sat in one spot and I waited patiently. Now the circle's closing in, and of course I have to move, but I'm waiting on a cue. There's a person who's on top of the roof, which is why I'm not moving, because I know no matter what I do, they're going to jump on me. So they move and they're going for a drop, which is actually located at its southwest. I see them going out. I make a big risk because there's still a person in the clock tower across. It's south, and I decide, fuck it, let's switch to the best gun I have, and let's get the fuck out there. I'm just trying to decide right now between Scar and Pump because I don't know the exact range of the person, but I see they went for the drop and they've holed themselves in. Well, I was gonna actually do something stupid, but I decided to go tactical. I'm in a bush, right? So why not go for the dirt? I go for the dirt and something amazing happens simply because I'm patient enough to wait. Someone actually comes up from behind me as I'm on the storm, and they're rushing. He comes up from behind me thinking that I'm an actual bush and he can hide from that person. And well, he gets fucked in the face with a scar, and that's simply because I waited patiently. Now this is too patient because I actually get killed by the circle in this game and get 4th place trying to wait for this person to come out. I should have rushed here, I didn't, and I died because of it, but that's completely and totally okay because placing 4th isn't that bad when you put that much effort in. But that is essentially how you get to the end of a game of Fortnite Battle Royale. Now, I myself can say that my end game is obviously not that good considering that I don't have that many wins in solo, but that doesn't really matter. It's just the fact of getting to that end point where you can figure out your own way to end the game because everyone ends it a different way, even if it's bitching out in the sky on a stairway to heaven. Anyway guys, this has been Gizmo Gaming, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please watch the video in the description as he gives a lot more of it in depth and gives a few more tips that I actually didn't give because I didn't have the time. And please watch all the other Fortnite videos in the Fortnite playlist. I will see you guys later, and I will see you in the other world. Goodbye guys.
Hey, I gotta stay in my zone. Say that we been beefing, dog, but you on your own. First night, she gon' let me fuck cause we grown. I hit her, gave her back to the city, she home. She at home now. That was that, so I can't be beefing with no